Okay. These two guys, you ready to come on down?
Interesting how different this one is from the other one.
Yeah.
Crazy long tunnel.
Sure is.
Yeah.
This is the other. Is this basically the other side of the same? Like, it's not. It's not connected at all to them?
No. Well, there is a tunnel that goes from this cave to the other one, but it's nothing that we can actually walk through.
Underwater.
Yeah,
Underwater,
so
huh?
And divers actually went through that tunnel to realize that they could connect.
Wow.
Wow.
So, this cave here is the Crystal Cave. This one was found 2 years prior to Fantasy Cave in 1907 by two young boys aged 12 and 13 at the time, Carl Gibbons and Edgar Hollis. Those two young boys were playing a very familiar sport. You guys are familiar with the game cricket?
Mm-hmm.
They was playing a game of cricket just south of the parking lot upstairs, where one got carried away and hit the ball into the trees. In search for that ball, they came across a hole in this area up here. You will actually be able to see it as we go out of the cave. So they decided they're going to be adventurous. They're going to go home and get as much rope as they can and a kerosene lantern, where they then tied themselves to a tree outside that hole and lowered themselves down 130 feet, reaching the cave water here. They then swam in this cave for approximately 3 hours in search for that bowl and another entrance or exit to the cave. Not finding neither one of those, they went back up 130 feet where they exited the cave the same way that they entered. They ran home to tell their parents what they had found, excited at what they had found. Like they say, apples don't fall too far from the tree. The parents decided they're going to come back down into this cave the next day to see what else they could find. They then discovered that this cave actually goes under their house and under the neighbor's house. A very wealthy family, the Wilkinson family, who still own Crystal and Fantasy Cave today. So the Wilkinson family decided they're going to buy this land from the boys that discovered it, in return giving them land and property in the Bailey's Bay area, which is approximately 2 minutes away from here, where we are now. So in 1908, they quickly decided they're going to open this cave to the public, where they have 165 wooden barrel steps coming down from that original entrance into the cave, where you can come down and give yourself a self-guided tour. They was then realizing that the cave was actually being damaged by people coming down and actually cutting the tips of the stalactites off and taking them home as souvenirs. They closed the cave down and began in 1912 to make this nice, beautiful new walkway that we just came down in and entered. It took approximately 2 years for them to complete it. In 1914, we opened back up to the public, where we now have guided tours. This is what we call a limestone cave. Limestone is the rock that Bermuda is built on and built out of. What happens is the rainwater seeps through the earth, which takes about 3 to 6 months, where it then reaches the limestone and creates a calcite deposit and forms what we call these little baby stalactites, soda straws. These soda straws then build up the calcite inside of them, making them a lot bigger and stronger, and creates a stalactite, these big ones here. These stalactites then drip the water that comes through the stalactite, and it will hit the cave floor. where it then create what we call a stalagmite. A stalactite or stalagmite take about 100 years to grow a cubic inch. So you can imagine how long this cave takes to actually form and create. When a stalactite and stalagmite decide that they want to get married, tied, and not have one big happy family, they become what we call a column.
A column.
A column, exactly. So they will no longer grow in height or in depth, but then they begin to grow in width. And you'll see two of the biggest in this cave system in the middle of the cave as you go along. Now, this cave has many passageways that lead from the castle harbor into here, which is the body of water that surrounds the airport. This cave has a mixture of salt and fresh water. The salt water comes through those passageways and sits at the bottom, and salt water is heavier than fresh water. The fresh water comes from the stalactites that drip on top of the cave surface here, which leaves about an inch layer of fresh water. Now, in order for a stalagmite to grow, that would mean that 18,000 plus years ago, our last ice age, this cave was completely dry, empty of water. Now that the rise of sea level has filled this cave up with water, any stalagmite that is below the water surface will no longer grow anymore. We're going to walk onto this floating bridge here. It does rise and fall with the tide. We have high tide about twice a day, and it comes up roughly about 2 to 3 feet. Alrighty guys, so we're going to walk onto this bridge here.
Oh, cool.
Watch the step coming out,
Oh,
guys.
man.
The column is really incredible.
That is. Almost looks like a pillar.
That's a bummer though, they would cut these off, man.
Yeah.
You know? 'Cause now you can tell like right 100 years ago, and now they're still never grow the same.
Exactly.